maybe you guys want to hear a little bit about my time hanging out with everyone, because I didn't really get to talk about it because I've been so busy. Yeah, I met everyone that you already know who I met, and we went to karaoke. Well, we went to the escape room first, and then we went to karaoke the day after, I think, or yeah, something like that. We basically speed ran hanging out for real. It was very fun. It was my first time meeting kaelix. First time meeting the one who I am the president of his fan club. As Debonair president, I did what any Debonair could to make him feel comfortable and safe and make sure he had a good time, and being able to sit next to him in karaoke and hear him sing live. I truly lived the Debonair dream. So, you're welcome, everyone. But also sorry that you couldn't experience that. It was my first time meeting him, and obviously not my first time meeting everyone else. And I'm glad I got to hang out with people before I left to another country. Yeah, it was a very nice chill time with everyone. Just relaxing, and it felt very warm, comfy, familiar. It felt really nice. I didn't want our time to end, but the escape room was really fun because, as you guys know, I've mentioned before, I love escape rooms. I really, really love escape rooms. Based on a technicality, I can say that I have a 100% win rate. I've done a lot of escape rooms in my time. I've won all of them. I say technicality because there's one that I did where it was like multiple groups of people at the same time, so it was a really large escape room. And at the end of it, as long as if one group amongst the many groups gets the solution, then everyone wins. I guess it feels weird to explain it like this, but it's kind of like an alliance raid in FF14 where multiple people are working together. Even if you weren't the one that beat the last boss, as long as the boss has been defeated, everyone gets the win. 100% win rate. And I'm very welcome to, losing it if it's a really good escape room and it's hard, but I would like to keep the 100%. It was really fun. I don't want to give too many details because then, it might give away where it is and stuff like that. I'm trying to think of who mentioned stuff about it. I think Ver mentioned it's a haunted one, right? Yeah, it was like a haunted. It didn't have like jump scares or anything, but it was very eerie, creepy, dark. We thought that the escape room already began because it was pretty dark as soon as we got out of the elevator and went to the floor of the place, and we're like, hello? I like to think that everyone contributed, because an escape room is not just, one person doing everything. Everyone does a little bit of something to help find the solution. You might notice a thing that somebody else didn't notice, or you might mention a piece of, I don't know, evidence that somebody didn't see before, and then it will cause a chain reaction. So I think that's how it went. There were a lot of hints. I say usually, I guess if you're like a real tryhard at escape rooms, you don't use hints, but I use hints. Whatever hints they got to give me, I use them all, because otherwise how the hell else are you supposed to get out of there? I'm not a tryhard. I just really enjoy the experience of an escape room and solving puzzles and getting to a solution. But if I need a hint, I need a hint. And if they're offering it, I'm gonna take it. So we got a good amount of hints whenever we were stuck on stuff. Of course, when you solve one thing, then it leads to another, etc. And it was really cool because there was multiple rooms, actually. They call it an escape room singular, but when you're in it, you have to unlock a bunch of stuff to unlock another door that will unlock into a different room. And then that room usually has another room that you can go into to unlock. So there's like multiple layers to it. So I enjoyed that experience and getting to the final thing. Something funny that did happen that I don't know if kaelix talked about it. Towards the beginning, when we were listening to the instructions and stuff and reading whatever on the screen, I don't know if anyone else did, but the two of us heard the door that we entered the room in move a little bit. kaelix was the one that was like, did you guys hear the door move? And I did, but I didn't say anything. I just looked in the direction of the door and then the door slammed shut. I assume because, you know, that's the door that is locked that we have to ultimately escape from. That when we win, you know, the worker, the staff will open it up. So that door slammed shut and kaelix screamed so loud. I mean, I screamed too, but I did my little like, woo, or whatever. But kaelix screamed so loud. It was so funny and so cute. That was the only jump scare in the escape room. Everything else was purely ambient and environmental. You guys already know how I describe and feel about Shu and Ver, meeting them both in real life. I guess I was gonna say Zeal, but this is the first time you guys are hearing that we met already before. I think everyone is pretty comfortable to be around and very chill and feels very relaxing. I feel like I could just sit and talk with Zeal for a long time. And we could just sit at a cafe. That's what we did the first time we met. Just sitting and relaxing at a cafe and just talking a lot. Yeah, it feels very nice and comfortable and cozy, and obviously because I love his voice, I could just sit there and listen to him all day talk. kaelix is such a cutie. I do feel like my mother instincts come out a lot around him because I did help him navigate and get home both times. He's very... I don't know if I can say... Hold on. I think it's fine. Okay, I can. Yeah. I think he's very like baby girl. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. I just want to make sure that it was fine to say that even though he's taller than me, you know, I'm only, what? I'm only 169 centimeter, right? That's how tall I am. I mean, everyone's taller than me. But even though he's taller than me, I still feel like, you know, I gotta take care of him. But not in like a child way. I just want to make sure he's having a good time. Is able to get to where he needs to go. Stuff like that. And Zeal is very, you know, he can handle himself. I think in certain moments, everyone can be a little baby girl, but kaelix is very considerate because he wanted hugs, asked me first because he knew that I don't really like to be touched that often. Unless if I'm really familiar with you. So that was nice. Yeah, he likes hugs. It does feel nice to be hugged by someone who's taller than you. I will admit, I guess. It was such a short amount of time that we had. Hopefully we'll meet again in the future. I mean, I'm sure we will, you know, wherever it is. Yeah, it was very nice. Did karaoke for not too long, even though the system they had wasn't the best. Doesn't really matter when you're in a room full of singers because everyone makes it work. Everyone still sounds really good. Well, before the escape room, we went to a cafe. I got everyone bringing up gnarly. Yeah, I think Zeal put that in there. And then it popped up in the queue and I was like, what the fuck? Who put that? And then we both did it. When that one part came up, I said it extra loud. I feel like the walls in that karaoke place were like thin. I don't know, but I did it anyway. And I said, making beats for a boring, dumb bitch. And I said it really loud. And I think it was Ver that like said, oh my god, and laughed really loud. Listen, expect that if anyone puts gnarly in and you give me the mic, I'm gonna do that every time. I'm gonna say it with my whole chest, like a boring, dumb bitch. So crazy that I even went out to hang out with them when I should be at home packing. And speaking of, that's what I should be doing right now. So that's it about that. Maybe if there's more details that I remember, I will bring it up again.